I just finished working an overnight flight from Miami to Las Vegas. Now I am catching the first flight to Dallas so I can catch a flight directly to London to enjoy 3 days off. So I'm going to spend my next 3 days off in London sightseeing. Come with me.
I worked one of my 4 days off because I made a mistake with did not know that this whole time I've had the option
of working on one of my days off was completely my fault. Early on when I first became a flight attendant, I had wanted to pick up more hours than they were giving me. So I had all these things checked. And one of the options I had marked was being awarded a trip that went into a day off. So that was my fault. So I'm going to be boarding the plane to London soon. I was lucky and got a seat on this flight. And not only did I get a seat, I got a seat in the business class flagship suite, which the seats recline and you can actually sleep there. So I was able to catch a few hours of sleep, as a matter of fact. Getting to experience this level of service was just superb. I had a lie flat seat in the flagship suite. I also had chef-inspired dining, which included a multi-course meal, complete with a ice cream sundae for dessert. When I arrived to my flagship suite, I also had a personal amenity kit waiting for me, which included a Shinola and DS and Durga amenity kit that had lip balm, hand cream, eye mask, and some comfy socks, plus more. The hospitality that I received from the crew was just on another level. It was amazing. They treated everyone with the same hospitality, and I did feel quite special that they treated me the same. They knew I worked for the company. Everyone came and said hello, and they were just so welcoming. I felt so pampered. It was amazing. Finally, I've landed. But when I landed in London, the reality set in even from the airport without stepping outside. It was far much colder than I had anticipated. Okay, I'm now dressed a little more warmly. I'm going to ride the underground all on my own. I'm going to take the Piccadilly line to Gloucester, I can never say that word, to Gloucester stop to meet up. This is the monument to the Great Fire of London, but more commonly known as the Monument. I passed by this on my way to the Walkie-Talkie building, which is where the Sky Garden is located. This is the Fenchurch Street skyscraper, nicknamed the Walkie-Talkie due to its distinctive profile. And this is the entrance. Cameras aren't allowed when you first go through security, then queue in line to go up the elevators, but this is a view from above. The Sky Garden opened in early 2015 and quickly became one of London's top attractions. The curved design that is top-heavy leaves the building looking like an old-school walkie-talkie. During the construction of the building, it was in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, when it was said to have been responsible for melting a car that was parked nearby. There is a huge window in the atrium that faces south, offering views out over the Shard and the River Thames. And if you continue walking clockwise, views include the London Eye and St Paul's Cathedral. On the east of the building, visitors are treated to aerial views of the Tower Bridge and Tower of London, while the Canary Wharf can be seen in the distance. I can't believe this is just my lucky day. I mean, the views are immaculate. London is usually foggy and gray, I heard, right? Especially during winter. But look at this. It's like I brought the sunshine with me from Arizona and Miami. The glare is really bad, so looking in this direction, you will see the Houses of Parliament and the Tate Modern. Tomorrow we'll have a better look at those because we'll be on the River Thames. This is the Sky Garden in London. The Sky Garden is situated under a glass dome, with the garden being across 3 floors and featuring a large open atrium. The garden is also home to 2 restaurants, and at the sides of the space there are 2 large planted terraces that rise up. Different regions of the garden have different themes, including the prehistoric forest, which has been planted with fig trees and ferns. There is a mountain ravine section, home to flowers from South Africa and the Mediterranean. A few of the many species of flowers include the red-hot poker, bird of paradise, and the African lily, while other parts of the garden have herbs such as rosemary and lavender. At the back side of the Sky Garden, you can see buildings like the Gherkin, which is situated in the financial district of London. There are food and drink for purchase inside the Sky Garden. You can purchase a pint, you can purchase a coffee or a tea. So I did have a pint, and then I happened to be there in time to catch a wonderful, magnificent London sunset. Look at that. I am just the luckiest person right now. All of this exploring on day 1 is just making me hungry, so I am heading to Leadenhall Market. Leadenhall Market dates back to 1321 and is situated in what was the center of Roman London. In pop culture, most notably, part of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was filmed at Leadenhall Market in 2000 and 2001, representing the iconic wizard and witch pub, the Leaky Cauldron, and also inspiring the magical shopping street Diagon Alley. This is Tower Bridge, one of the most recognizable structures in London. When it was built, the bridge was the largest and most sophisticated bascule bridge ever completed. These bascules were operated by hydraulics using steam to power the enormous pumping engines. The energy created was stored in 6 massive accumulators, meaning that as soon as the power was required to lift the bridge, it was always readily available. The accumulators fed the driving engines, which drove the bascules up and down. Despite the complexity of the system, the bascules only took 60 seconds to raise their maximum angle of 86 degrees. Today, the bascules are still operated by the hydraulic power, but since 1976, they have been driven by oil and electricity rather than steam. This is St Katharine Docks, a former and now mixed-use district. The docks were badly damaged by German bombing during the Second World War. It lies immediately downstream from the Tower of London and Tower Bridge. From 1828 to 1968, it was one of the commercial docks that made up the Port of London. The dock entrance was rebuilt in 1957, but the dock ceased commercial use in 1968. Today, the area now features offices, public and private housing, a large hotel, shops and restaurants, a pub, a yachting marina, and other recreational facilities. It remains a popular leisure destination. In the distance there is a Walkie-Talkie building that I visited on day 1. This is the River Thames. It flows through southern England, including London. At 215 miles, it is the longest river entirely in England and the second longest in the United Kingdom. Over 200 bridges span the Thames. Some, like Tower Bridge and Millennium Bridge, are amidst London's best-known sites, but the vast majority are just practical ways to get across the river. And of course, here we have the London Eye, or the Millennium Wheel. It is located on the south bank of the River Thames. It welcomes over 3 million visitors a year. I can't help but always try to capture each time I see a red double-decker bus. Coming up is the Palace of Westminster, which serves as the meeting place for both the House of Commons and the House of Lords, the two houses of the Parliament of the United Kingdom. The Palace of Westminster functioned as an English monarch's principal residence in the late medieval period. In 1512, during the early years of the reign of King Henry VIII, fire destroyed the royal residence area of the palace. Being originally a royal residence, the palace included no purpose-built chambers for the two houses. Important state ceremonies took place in the Painted Chamber, originally built in the 13th century as the main bedchamber for King Henry III. Big Ben is the nickname for the Great Bell of the Great Clock of Westminster. The official name of the tower in which Big Ben is located was originally the Clock Tower, but it was renamed Elizabeth Tower in 2012 to mark the Diamond Jubilee of Elizabeth II. And this is so much prettier in person. Photos and videos do not do this any justice. But to give you an idea of how large this is, I found this picture. You used to be able to skate on the river in the winter. The London section of the Thames regularly used to freeze solid, and Londoners used to take advantage of the event by skating on it. There used to be frost fairs held on its surface, though it hasn't happened since 1814. The river has been memorialized by many recognized artists, among them Turner, Monet, Canaletto, and Whistler. It also pops up in many books and films, including Alice in Wonderland, Three Men in a Boat, and The Wind in the Willows. This isn't a very good view, but nonetheless, this dome is a view of St. Paul's Cathedral, as seen from the River Thames. And this is Millennium Bridge. It was opened in 2000 to mark the new millennium. Can't experience London without catching a show in London's West End. So tonight, I am going to see Frozen in London's West End at the Theatre Royal on Drury Lane. The inside of the theatre was absolutely stunning. Beautiful art, beautiful statues. It was just so wonderful to be able to watch a show here. The show is also spectacular, but I was in awe of absolutely everything. The Theatre Royal Drury Lane has been a site for entertainment since 1663 and is the world's oldest theatre site in continuous use. Drury Lane pantomime is a long tradition at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, dating from the early 18th century. In every Christmas season, a pantomime is produced which has a leading place among the many other pantomimes of the capital. Other pantomimes are sometimes produced during the rest of the year. Thank you so much for watching my video. Sorry for the delay. I actually caught a cold upon returning from this trip. I ended up calling in sick to work, but I am now feeling better. I'm back. So tune in. I will be back with another video shortly.